Hi, my name is Jonah. The following interview will be for a coaching course I am taking, Advanced Concepts in Coaching. The coach I chose to interview is Paul Manzardo, a longtime baseball coach and division chair of physical education at North Idaho College. I first met Paul in 2006 on a 121-mile river trip down the Middle Fork of the Salmon River. I have created a presentation for you to watch as the interview progresses. I know it is rudimentary, but even at that it was time-consuming and quite expensive, only free until I tried to publish it. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. Let's welcome Paul with a round of applause.
Hi Jonah. Hello everyone, thank you for having me.
I introduced you a little, basically mentioned how we met. Would you mind introducing yourself and sharing some of your background?
I grew up in Flint, Michigan and went to Luke M. Powers High School where I graduated in '88 playing baseball the whole time. That's what I did. After graduating, I played at Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan, an NCAA Division II program. My team won 4 consecutive league titles the years I was there. I left Ferris State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management.
So you didn't think you were going to be a coach?
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Soon after graduating, I started missing the team and all the practices. Sports, especially at those levels, are a lifestyle. I was having trouble shifting, so NIC was great.
Cool. Did you have coaches who stood out to you? Coaches you missed? Or was it mainly just the team and athletics you were having trouble walking away from?
Yes, my coaches were always very important to me.
Are they the reason you decided to coach?
I didn't have that much foresight. I just didn't want to pursue a career in finance. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like I say, the job opportunity at North Idaho College was an amazing option. At the time there was a thriving baseball program under head coach Jack Bloxham.
That's right, I remember that. So did you start coaching for him then?
No, I didn't coach for Jack, we did become colleagues. He was an extraordinary man. He'd go out of his way to teach you about the game, how to take care of the field, even how to install a screen door at your house. Just a good hard-working man. I was at NIC to run their intramural sports program. I did start coaching and refereeing for the Parks and Recreation Department on nights and weekends, but I was happy settling into a new job and starting a home with my now wife Wendy.
Oh, I thought you worked for him. When did you take over as head coach then?
That wasn't until a few years later when Jack had passed away. I started as the head coach in 1997 until the program was discontinued due to budget constraints in 2002.
Okay, let's just move through this list of questions I have for you then. I'll start by asking, what sports do you coach?
I am the head baseball coach for Lake City High School's boys team. I also still referee for Parks and Rec and youth sports. My 9-to-5 job is as the division chair and professor of physical education, including the resort/recreation program where I take my coaching style into the classroom as a teacher and student advisor.
I know sometimes athletes transition into coaching from their athletic success versus being based on a formal coaching education. Was this your experience?
I started with the experience of being an athlete. Directing the intramural sports for the college was a great introduction to being in charge. There were so many sports and sport variations that we held on campus. But, to answer your question, I continued my education through the University of Idaho while at NIC. I first finished another bachelor's in recreation science. I have since completed a master's in science and physical education. I am a member of the National Intramural Recreational Sports Association. I'm a certified recreational sports specialist. Certified instructor, holding peace officer standards in training. A physical fitness and health coach instructor. The list goes on and on, as these new levels of certification are a fun and necessary component to staying relevant at our peak as coaches and people. Plus, I like it. I don't get to play much anymore, so these become my chances to quote-unquote play.
Super cool. That is a lot. Is there one course that you feel helped prepare you for the head coaching position?
More than the courses. The people and coaches I surrounded myself with helped most. I mentioned working with Jack. He was a great role model. I really enjoyed following his career and his work with the team. He was so willing to stop and share his knowledge. I learned a lot from watching him. I remember I reached out to all my baseball coaches from Ferris State when I got offered the head baseball coach position at NIC. They encouraged me a ton. I was so nervous, I didn't want to screw up. I can have a bunch of nerves and my coaches were crucial to keeping me positive. I wasn't sure I could do it. They put me to work and suggested I practice. I have a bunch of nerves and my coaches were crucial to keeping me positive. I wasn't sure I could do it. They put me to work and suggested I practice. I coached a lot that summer. Anywhere that would let me. I wanted to be as prepared as I could be.
Do you mind going into detail? Can you share your philosophy with those of us listening?
My philosophy is pretty simple. I believe that everyone has a valuable part to play on the team. Respecting one another is a huge component. A lot of times athletes don't understand what a great gift they have until they are done playing. We are very lucky to play these sports. So many people would love to be athletically inclined and we have an honor and duty to uphold that in a way that is empowering to one another. That is the idea of a team. If each team member understands what a unique opportunity this is, they will work harder to keep it. Be respectful of those others who have made it too. Becoming teammates is how we work in unison with each other. My philosophy is that the work put out will equal success and achievement. I feel the way we get to our goals is as important as getting them. The people who are capable of the most, including the admiration of those around them, are the hard workers. Those who only stop what they are doing to help others. If an athlete has this attitude, I can make them a big part of the team. I am a big list maker. I know it helps us stay focused. I also look at them as a layer of communication and assumed responsibility on the athletes. Being clear is a very important part of getting everyone to see the same thing. Holding the same vision. If we can't do that, then how can we work towards the same goal as a team? Everyone knows what their role and expectations are as well as everyone else's role within their vision. Talking is a cognitive verbal component of learning and needs to be a part of the practice. So I like to hear what the players think and want to learn. What they see others needing practice in as well as themselves.
I do remember you like to have itineraries. And yes, they made the trip go smoothly. We also had a set of shared values established, didn't we? What core values are important to you? What values do you look for in potential athletes?
My core values are about being willing to work hard. I like to use the acronym CARE. Be consistent. Be accountable. Be respectful and put in effort. They will equal a life quality and work ethic that will lead to success and, in my case, championships. These values are how we achieve the goals we want. This type of care is powerful. This idea is why my philosophy has to do with how we get to the end result. I coach at the high school level now, so I don't so much recruit like-minded athletes but rather instill these qualities and values into the youth of the sport. I try and focus on the process. It builds on previous work, so we have to be willing to put in the effort. Staying positive should be mentioned too, as negativity is contagious and needs to be confronted.
Where did you pick up these core values? Was it family and the way you grew up, or was it instilled in you by coaches on the baseball field like you're saying?
All of it. Really. These are the things that we recognize as helpful as we try to do our best. If we see someone get rewarded for shortcutting the practice, we might want to do the same. So yeah, it is a lot to do with being brought up this way or that way, but it has a lot more to do with seeing someone care about you and find success of their own that makes you want to emulate their character. My coaches and baseball in general have taught me all sorts of things about life and sports. I really looked up to my coaches when I was young. Sports meant the world to me, and so did they.
So, how do you incorporate these values into your coaching? I'm assuming you implement these concepts into your strategies, right?
Most definitely. I have printouts that go over these values and even have letters of commitment or contracts for the athletes to sign at the beginning of each season. This is so they know what is expected and agree to be part of the team. Other than stating them to the athletes and team members, we really have to show them by leading by example. If we do not adhere to these ideals in their eyes, we will not be respected or trusted. Communication is super key here. We need to tell them what we are doing and why we are doing it, not just do it. Share it. Look. As a coach, we are there to lead. Provide clear direction like I stated, with the expectations on the athletes. But with the requirements needed to get us there in this case. Some of these athletes are gifted at these sports but need a lot of help elsewhere. I try to develop character because it perseveres on the field and will help these kids moving into life.
Phew. Those were necessary, and so were your points. That leads me into my next question. What style of leadership do you most adopt? Command, cooperative, or laissez-faire?
I put in so much work detailing and planning our team's success, that it has to be a command style. Look, they are trying to follow what we are doing because of our track record and the trust we have developed with them as a team. We don't want to mess that up by allowing too many people to contribute on that level. Communication is clearest when it is consistent, and if I am willing to put that style on my shoulders, players will follow. The trouble is they will follow no matter what. So, Knowing what's going on in current coach theories and not becoming egotistical is what's hard. Come on, Jonah. You know me. I have my lists and my goals and I don't mind taking charge. That is how we accomplish things, by trying hard. Communicating our vision to others in a way they buy into and want to achieve with us. So maybe a little cooperative, especially amongst the coaching staff. Their opinions are very crucial. I can't be everywhere or watching everything. But hey, baseball is supposed to be fun, and it is. I like the days we just play, maybe even us coaches go to bat. I just don't see that helping us maintain our reputation for success.
That's kinda my style too. I mean, we are supposed to know how to win, right? How to create success within the team and on the field. Is there anything you do during your practices to help make sure you are reaching all the players? Does this style ever chase athletes away?
It could, I suppose. Most often the ones with the bad attitudes, in the beginning, can be some of my hardest workers, so it just all depends on them as individuals. If it chases them away, they probably wouldn't have been a huge contribution anyway, as the attitude and work ethic are what keeps us doing so well. I like to be a part of the lives I can affect change. The ones I can watch grow and get better. This is what it's become about to me.
Well, then, in your opinion, what do you see as the most important aspect of coaching? In your experience, is there anything that works best for getting such good results? I mean, you have been tied to championships throughout your career. You have to have some insight for us?
The most important aspect of being a good coach is wanting them to succeed. Helping them move forward means we have to be willing to put our desires aside and go after what is best for the athlete. This is why we all need such a clear understanding of why we're here and what we are trying to achieve. You know the funny part? If you can get people to believe you are trying to help them, they will end up giving you their all as to not let you down. I always have to remind players that if they give me their absolute best and work as a team, I will be proud of how we play and the reasons we worked so hard, even if we don't have a great season. Hey, they all haven't been victories, and some of our biggest learning opportunities came from failure. Or at least the fear of it.
With baseball, there are many positions. How do you specify training in practice? How important is it to offer deliberate practice methods to each position?
Oh geez. That is the essence of training camps. Yes, the different positions all have unique differences to them. A good way to put it is with batting experience. Now, even though a player might spend most of their time on, say, second base, at a certain point, they will have to go up to bat. If they haven't spent time at the plate, you cannot realistically expect them to even see some of the pitches coming. Even at the high school level, these kids are throwing hard and fast. Within batting practices, we alter stances and swing patterns while assimilating the players to the reaction times necessary to swing at the pitches as they come over the plate. Outfielders have different drills than the infield and so on. This is crucial. It's a great treat to see some of the natural athletes cruise the field, but knowing your position and being well drilled is simply the best feeling and so fun to see in the athletes.
That makes sense. I bet you even have specific drill or practice techniques for individuals as they run into issues as the season progresses.
Yes. Some need weight training. Others need to gain endurance. Most need posture and form reminders in the daily. That's why we keep practicing.
Where does sports psychology come into your practice style? Is it a big concern at the high school level? I bet it is a bigger issue at the college level and beyond.
The game of baseball demands a unique mental attitude separate from other team sports. The pace of the game fools individuals into thinking that the game is laid back and slow. This could not be further from the truth. The speed and reaction time in baseball is second to none. Maintaining this attitude is as exhausting as any other aspect of the sport. Throw that in conjunction with the fact that athletes have to feel good about themselves in order to believe enough to have self-efficacy or confidence that they have what it takes when it counts. This is why I have such a command-style approach to coaching. Sometimes I feel like I am commanding them to believe in their abilities. Other than that, I play counselor and monitor their overall health, which plays a big role in how they think and feel too.
This has been great, Paul. I really appreciate you sharing your time and knowledge with me. This interview has been informational and fun. I want to wish you and your team well this season and invite you to get on the river again sometime.
That sounds great. Thank you for thinking of me when you had to interview someone. Thanks for listening, everyone.